Good morning, and welcome to Mayor's Weekly. We're pleased to have you with us this morning. The calendar says it's springtime. It's still a little chilly, and as normal, we're getting a great deal of rain. It's limited outside activities, but as we move on into summer, if it's a typical summer in the South, we will be wishing we had some of the rain we're having today. You look back to 2020, and we could spend all day talking about the impact that COVID has had across this country. And joining me today is Mike Putman, and while it has not brought Mike's work to a halt, a lot of the things that Mike spends a great deal of time on and does a great job with had to be put on the back burner because of COVID. And Mike, it looks like we hopefully are returning to some sense of normal, and that we can do the fun things that you put in place for folks of this community, and I want to underscore community. Everything that Main Street does is for the community. It's not for the elite. It's not for the wealthy. It's not for the aristocrats. It's for everybody, and I want to make that clear. We've had some situations in the media that would point to that not being the case, and that's as false as can be. But Mike, I know you're getting ready for something we have a lot of fun with coming up, maybe starting today over the next 2 or 3 days, and if you would share that with us.
Well, thank you, David. And also, everyone is welcome. In fact, we want not just Jasper and Walker County, we want people from all over coming to this event. But Jasper Eats is now Jasper Eats in the streets. We're trying to do things that are COVID unfriendly, and it's an event that I've put together with several other people to close some of the streets. Carl Cannon Chevrolet is sponsoring this event. We bought through them 204 chairs, 34 tables. They seat 6 people each, and they are being placed. They're in the sidewalks right now, and on Saturday morning they're going to be placed in the streets for some of these restaurants right here. And if the streets aren't closed, they have tables outside their restaurant already, or we've put some out there. It starts today, and if you can go to Jasper Main Street's Facebook to see all the specials, but it is a restaurant week is basically what it is. And it's an event that I have patterned after Birmingham and downtown Birmingham and Avondale. I went to their events to see how they ran that, and I just came back and I said, we can do this, and we're doing it. And so you can look on Facebook and see all the specials of all the participating restaurants, and there's just a lot of good food in downtown Jasper. This place is really becoming a foodie place. Right. And you'll eat in the streets Saturday. You can eat in the streets Saturday for lunch, Saturday night, and it's just fun that we can get together again, because I know this is my first event since last March. And it may have been maybe one of the first events in the city like this. But we're excited about it. Just when you break bread with somebody, that is community. And when you're eating in the streets on the table, there's no telling you're going to sit beside and strike up a conversation. And it's all about connectivity and just pulling ourselves together. And I hope that we continue to go back to whatever normal is now. Right. So, but yeah, that's what's going on this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Well, Mike, I don't think we'll know what normal is until we move along, and hopefully COVID is moving into our rearview mirror. We don't know that yet, but we can move in that direction at this moment, and the vaccinations continue to be successful. More vaccinations, and I know that's happening. And but one of the things that a lot of people don't know, and I I refer back to this, well, this very critical article, but when you look at Main Street and what Main Street is meant to, the revitalization of downtown, and you look at their funding, and probably 95% of it comes from private sources. The city supports Main Street, probably one of the better investments that we make, but there's no government allocation by the state legislature to put money into that. And absent these folks stepping up and supporting these sort of things, we wouldn't even be talking about the revitalization of downtown because the money wouldn't be there. That'd be right, Mike?
Absolutely. You can talk about all you want to talk about.
Yeah.
When there's no money, there's nothing's going to happen.
And you know, this kind of had a flavor of being critical of maybe those that are affluent or whatever. And I learned a long time ago in the banking career, one of my mentors told me one day, we were talking about this subject. And here's what he told me. He said, David, I have never known any poor folks to own a bank or a coal company. And he's exactly right. And I'm pleased that we've got affluent folks that provide people jobs and that sort of thing. So the writer of this article, nearsighted, lacks understanding, and will never be a part of notching anybody's city up. And I want to go on record, that person knows who I'm talking about. I want to go on record, it's absolutely awful, and this is not a single article. There have been others that have the same tone and flavor, and it's really been frustrating to me. And but I hope this person watches this, because I will say to you, they have a dim view of pretty much everything. But to think that what Main Street has brought to this city in some way had a cornering off of a class of people, that's just as wrong as can be. But Mike, now we move on. I've kind of got that off of my chest, and as you look and assuming a normal year, what are some of the other things that you'll be working on?
Well, we're talking about a possible international street fair.
Right.
And we're also talking about not just Jasper Eats once a year, Jasper Eats in the streets, but maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Because we've got the tables, we've got the chairs, and I think we can, depending on how this one goes, I think it's going to go well. We can do it again. We can do it as many times as we want to. And there's nothing stopping anybody from bringing food from one restaurant and going over to another table to sit if they want to sit with someone that wants other food, or and it's just going to be fun. I'm just going to be glad to see people together, out, music playing, but also we just finished some of the projects that didn't stop during COVID. Was Town Creek Park. Mm-hmm. And that's a perfect example of what you're talking about. That park is open to everybody. It's accessible, it has swings, it has walking paths, paved walking paths, it has exercise equipment. But those things didn't stop during COVID. We stopped events, but we didn't stop these other projects. And so now we can enjoy those in the spring, and you hear my voice, look in my eyes. I know it's spring because I can feel it right here. But just right now, we're putting up the veteran banners, and we'll take those down and put up Flourish banners later. And it's going to be a good year. It already has been, as far as getting the Wade Park on 19th Street done, finished, and this Town Creek Park, which is a big piece of the puzzle to Town Creek itself, because not everybody has a creek running through their downtown, and that is a definite asset. Absolutely.
Right. The work by Main Street, a lot of it happens without being visible to the public, and something that's being worked on as we speak. There'll be a meeting held in this room at 2:30 this afternoon, and I was on a meeting and I don't recall what we were doing, but a meeting that Mike had convened pre-COVID by a month or two, and I had the opportunity to sit at the table with Andy Scott, who is the senior leader ranger of the Bankhead National Forest. Andy's a great guy, holds a PhD, and as we talked about different things, Andy said, David, there's no telling how many thousand people come to Clear Creek Park in the course of a year, and how many people come to the Bankhead Forest, and a wilderness is remote. It wouldn't be a wilderness if it was not remote, would it, Mike?
Right.
And so you don't have the phone services and those areas you have. And he said people, and taking nothing away from our friends at Double Springs, but there are not a lot of opportunities there to eat, and if you have some sort of special needs. So Jasper is a logical place, but you have people that come from across the country, so they don't know. He said if we had some sort of flyer or brochure, we would be pleased to give it to every person that registers for a campsite at Clear Creek Park. We'd use it at the Bankhead Forest. So I started thinking about that, talked to Mike about it pre-COVID, and with COVID it put it on the back burner, and as Mike does 100% of the time, when you ask him for help, you get help. And I talked to him about this, and I said, I have no expertise in that area. He enlisted the support of one of his board members, Renee Wilson, and they're coming here with their first pass at something that you could, manageable, not something voluminous or whatever, that people could look and see Highway 118 or downtown, see landmarks, names of restaurants, whatever. And I talk about this all the time, and it's real. This city and every other municipality in Alabama, 60% probably of their revenue comes from sales tax revenue. So every dollar that goes into a cash register, a couple of pennies of that's coming to the city of Jasper. So this will be a great move to bring other people here, and then the ancillary benefits to that you can't quantify. You know, we like Jasper, we're going to move here. We've seen those very things happen, haven't we, Mike?
Absolutely, yeah. And the brochure that she has created includes not just downtown, it includes all of Greater Jasper, from Highway 78 and beyond, because we want everybody, I-22, you know, if you want to come downtown, we want you downtown, but if you want to go to Applebee's, well, Applebee's is on Highway 78, and that brochure will tell you where to get to Applebee's. No, we're all about promoting not just downtown, although that's my full-time job. It's the entire community of Jasper, because as Jasper prospers, whether it's downtown or 78 or I-22, Jasper Main Street prospers.
Yeah.
So, you know, we want all of Jasper to prosper.
Right.
Yeah.
And please know, the doors, when we do anything in Jasper, is open to everybody. Matter of fact, Mike, today I'm driving a 2003 Chevrolet pickup. It's got quite a few scratches on it, and nobody met me at the outskirts of town and turned me back. So I'm pleased about that, and it's just parked out there. I've seen 2 or 3 policemen. The door is always open to Jasper. Somebody had some sort of comment about Foothills, that the rich folks get to have their party and we weren't going to have our Christmas parade. Well, Foothills Festival is being worked on right now, going to be the biggest yet, barring something unforeseen, and it doesn't matter. They'll let me in my 2003 Chevrolet pickup truck, or we'll let a fellow in driving a Mercedes.
Well, and it's a free event.
It's a free event. You don't have to have any money to get in. So please know that that's the way it is. As long as I'm mayor, we're going to run Jasper. Never be a party to, like I said, of cornering any class of folks off because of economic status or that sort of thing. We have a great city. I can tell you we're on path maybe to have the best operating year that we've ever had. The last 4 years have been record after record. Year 1 was a record in this 100-year history. Year 2 better than year 1. Year 3 better than year 2. Year 4 better than year 3. And year 5 is going better than year 4 by a great margin, barring something great. It allows us to do a lot of things. If you move around here, sidewalk projects, our retail developments that are in the works, those are progressing nicely. And when you see your sales tax revenue grow like ours has grown, then that tells you something is right. When you see houses selling pre-construction and people waiting in line to buy a house, something's right. People don't make those kind of investments in a city where they think things are going south. I don't think. You might.
No. And that's the reason people have invested in Jasper Main Street, because they've seen this group of people. You know, I may be the face, but I'm just the face of a lot of people behind me. They see success. You know, success builds upon success, and you just start, and it just keeps going. You just keep it going.
Right. Thank you for being with us today, Mike. Thank you for joining. I look forward to our meeting to look at the brochure, and I'll be talking to Andy, and we'll all talk to Andy and see how we put this together, your recommendations, and without question, that will bring folks to our city, and that brings benefit.
Absolutely.
So,
and Tallulah thinks so too. She's down here. You can't see her, but she's here. She's always here.
Right. So hope you have a good week, and we'll look forward to being with you next week.